Hi everyone and welcome to another Quick Pass guide. This week we're taking a look at Saga World Creator, a terrain-based system for quick role-playing games. So this is quite a nice looking box. Here we have a great little logo on the start, and I really like this marbled effect on the cover of the box itself. It's really well appealing. Nice little side cut here just to give you some extra information, drawing attention to it. So that's good product quality there. And then around the back, this is a weighty box. This is hefty. And then on the back we have a really good description of the contents of the box. We've got some fantastic artwork here. This isn't just some good artwork in order to be visually appealing into the game. This actually does come into play with the little monsters that you get. So you get a number of cards, probably see on the actual map itself, that you get these cards here which have monsters drawn on them. So this is a way of like an all-in-one set. You don't need to necessarily get miniatures either. You can just use the cards to get the range of characters. I'm still going for the miniatures. I'm definitely a miniatures guy. Plenty in my collection, but it's nice to have a complete set. I think it's really clever. This can be like an all-in-one box. But the main event, of course, is the actual terrain itself. And this is just simply a jigsaw system. So you've just got a number of pieces of cardboard with a pattern printed onto it in this jigsaw style. And that means that you can create these great layouts. Now, there's a couple of things you need to think about when it comes to these jigsaw systems when you're designing them. Firstly, they need to be modular, right? Because there's no point having a jigsaw system which can only really fit one way. And that can actually be quite difficult, because if you have like weird connectors, so if you have like that sort of connectors, then that can only attach one way. So it means that the orientation has to be a certain pattern, and it can be a little bit hard to create more combinations because it's quite disjointed. One of the things that this box does really well, as I hold it a bit closer, is you can see that the connectors are just like a kind of a very simplified traditional jigsaw, where it's just basically a circle, either cut in or cut out. And that means that you don't need to worry about any directionality of the system. So that's definitely a good thing in its favor. Second thing you need to think about is the actual print quality itself. Now, I don't mean that it needs to have a particular high DPI. Effectively, all you really want is like a grid system, right? That's all you really need to actually see. But what I mean is, in terms of the scope of the different terrain pieces, you'll quickly get bored of this if it's just these streets. So you want to make sure that, like you see over here, you've got some variety to it, that you can come from a town into like a mine area. And so you need to make sure that you've got a good variety of different styles and themes. The print quality needs to account for those changes in theme as well, so that they have enough differentiation to them to make it visually appealing. And then the third thing is that it must be quick to assemble. So the big reason why you would go for something like this modular template system over some more advanced terrain is that this is really quick to assemble, at least in theory. So you'll see from the core space videos that I did, from the fantasy dungeon terrain videos that I did, that you actually get some really nice three-dimensional terrain. Definitely that looks more visually appealing than this does. However, it does take a lot longer to put together. So it's the sort of thing that you would need to build in advance if you were going to have a role-playing session. And that's certainly possible. But what if your guys decide to go off the beaten track, as parties are wont to do? That's it, you've spent all these hours preparing your adventure, you've got all your NPC backstories in place, you've got your dialogue sketched out, and then you've come along to the terrain and you've spent a couple hours building these wonderful, amazing set pieces, and then the party decides to go in a completely different direction. All your hard work is completely undone, but more importantly, you have nothing prepared. So there are definitely some tools that you can use as a games master or dungeon master. So, you know, there are NPC generators that you can do on the fly to quickly create names. There are monster generators you can do for random encounters, but it's hard to do terrain, especially if it's 3D. Because what you don't want to do is say to your party, oh, wait for 20 minutes whilst I build the terrain that you may or may not encounter in this dungeon, depending on where you go. You don't want those breaks in gameplay. So having quick to assemble modular terrain like this, where you just need to put some extra pathways down, is super useful. And I think that's the main reason why I got this box set. So it's basically to cover those parts which are maybe not a set piece. Now, of course, if your players tweak that, then there's a little bit of a meta game going on, but I think you can cover that pretty well. In particular, there are some benefits to this which we'll come on to later, such as these little roof pieces. But let's crack into the box itself. As I said, this is a weighty box. And this time, for once, you don't see me go through the embarrassment of trying to open the cellophane on one of these packs, because I've actually already used it for a little session about a month ago. But this is the first time I've kind of looked through it properly. This is the first time I've come back to it since. I've tried to be quite disciplined. There we go. So it's got, I mean, I've opened it before, so I wasn't expecting too much in the way of a new box smell. So here we have all the terrain pieces. Right, where do we start? So as you can see, I've used some of these roof pieces before, and the idea behind these roof pieces is, as we see here, we've just got some find tile here. Let's grab some of these out. We'll come back to some of the rest of this in a second. So let's just grab one of these. I can grab one, grab two there. So here we have, pop them out. Let's grab 3 of them. And pop that to the side. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just put the box up there for a second. I'll get the there. So here we have sort of something like that. So here we have just like an alleyway that we've created, and now we're just going to create some buildings on the side. So that will go like that, and we'll have that one like that. Let's imagine there's like a blank space there. And then what we can do is, maybe we've got some things pre-prepared inside these buildings, but we don't want people to see inside. So we can just put these roof tiles on top, and that makes it nice and hidden until such a time that you want to come back and reveal one of the houses. And then we just take it up, and now there's a dragon inside. So there we go. That'll be a lesson to you. Barging into houses without permission, there could be a dragon inside. So one of the things I think may be a little bit disappointing, there's not very much with this that is disappointing. Overall, I'm really pleased with it, but these connections are definitely a little bit on the loose side. So the cutting has just not quite been right. And as you can see, I just like that to be a bit sturdier. It can just get knocked a bit. Now certainly when you connect this up more, there'll be a bit more rigidity to it. But yeah, these are a little bit loose, which is not perfect, but it's not a showstopper. So let's grab this main box back. So we'll put some of the roofs to the side. And then yeah, this is really about just having a look through the pack here. So we've got lots of different modular pieces. So as we saw, the ones I cut out, we've got some sort of short corridors there. These are continued, and there's, you know, it's quite a generous amount that you get in these bags. So these are all just these smaller corridors, and as you can see there's a different style on the back as well. So we've got lots of different options here for different types of flooring. So you might want to use that like the indoor of a tavern, maybe that as a flagstone of a castle. This probably is more like an icy cave somewhere outside, so you've got plenty of those. And then you've got some more sandy desert type terrain there. What's next? Let's have a look at these. So we've got a similar theme going on here with the kind of the castle tavern and the ice caves and the sand and sort of the more normal stone corridors. And much like the houses, these are kind of the standard 4x4. So you've got lots of those, and you can just assemble those into much larger rooms if you so wish. And then we have the really big ones here. So here is the largest of the packs. And yeah, so you may not want to just do 4x4s, you may want to do some bigger ones, and exactly the same system here. We'll just put one out actually. So it's quite easy to disassemble these. I guess one of the advantages about the loose fitting is it actually means that you're not tearing. So when you take these out, you can see that there's actually, you know, it's nice and firm there. No real risk of the actual layer of the printed bit of the cardboard seaming off. This is all very nice and sturdy. So you have some nice big rooms there, and we've actually got a bit more in the way of some variety with some slightly different colours. So we've got some green ones as well. I'm not sure the greenness of this is quite showing up on the camera, but these have changed to sort of a much more green pattern. We've got sand the other side, and then some big wooden planks, maybe simulate the deck of a ship with the ice cave on the other side. So lots of great variety to those packs, lots of combinations that you can assemble. And here we are onto the roof section. So you can see this is the one that I broke into before. And here we have some other roof parts. So I grabbed two of the smaller ones from this set here, but we have the big roofs as well to cover the 8x8s, and we've got a variety going on. Oh, they're falling out. That's a bit on the loose side. And then let's move on to some of the other furniture. So one of the other things as well, you won't necessarily want to do the 3D furniture, you can do the 2D furniture, and this is particularly useful once you put the roof on top as well, because that'll all be hidden. So we have some staircases, we have some nice variety of tables and beds that are really quite useful to use in the game. And we've got good variety on the other side as well, with maybe some more outdoor things with like fences and walls, weapons racks. That's a bit of an Imperial Fist logo on that one. Fully approve. And then we have some other variety here, horse and cart. That's quite nice. I definitely need to use that more. Some tents, some trees, and then on the other side we have some little boats and some other furniture as well. So yeah, really liking these. The print quality, actually, just to bring these back, is really good. I really like the style. It's a minimalistic style that I think suits the terrain really well. It would be really easy, I think, to kind of overdo this, and then it just stands out a bit too much. But the quality of the artwork and the consistency of the artwork is really good. So we have a few things left in the box. There's one pack that I previously opened, which is this one, which is where the dragon came from. And you can see a variety of larger monsters. Genie, a dinosaur. Oh, that is quite frightening, that spider. That looks hideous, but it's actually less frightening. Oh, now's the trick where I actually forget what all of these are called. That I don't think I know what this is with the third demon head on. That's kind of new. There's a Minotaur, Griffin, probably a Flesh Golem, something like that. Oh, multiple demon-y friends, two-headed ogres. Looks like some sort of fire sprite or demon. Angels, insect things. That's a Pokemon, I think. There we go. Ooh, that's gonna mess your day up. You've got some large ones here. Oh, and also a blank one. And you've also got these markers. You've got these marker pens here. So let's say I wanted to draw, I can't draw at all. Let's say I wanted to draw a level 10 fearsome stickman. So let's give him battle axe on one side. Let's give him some demon horns, a tail, and let's give him some claws this side. So here we are. This is our level 10 stickman, and if we want to get rid of him, we just need to use this special eraser. And that's good as well, because you can also use that on the terrain. So here we have a corridor, and then you can draw little hints on it. You can draw an outline. Oh my god, what is even going on here? That guy has been properly mangled by something. And yeah, once you're done with that, you've just got this dry wipe situation. So that's really useful for customizing the game as well. And it comes with a couple of these pens. No idea how long they last. Hopefully they last a while, because I've no idea where to get other ones. But I'm sure these erasers will be sort of long use, and then you just need the right dry wipe type pens on top. And then because let's grab this genie, because you want these to sit on the actual terrain itself, you just have these little plastic bits, and then the cards just nicely slot into that, and then you can just put them down and yeah, move them around your corridor. So yeah, that's nice and easy, nice and simple to use. The artwork I think is really good. Yeah, probably better than a lot of miniatures. Although that said, I did get the Reaper Bones 4, so I'm not short of miniatures. They will appear in a future quick pass guide. So I'll pop that back in, and we just have a few more bits left in the box. So here is another pack. These are more normal sized cards. Let's see if I can. Once I've edited this video, that will be much quicker. And yeah, so we have a number of characters. Nice little halfling there. Some sort of wood elf, dark elves, bard. Not even sure what that is. Some sort of lizard person. Yeah, a huge variety of different monsters. And yeah, the artwork. I think the artwork's really good. Again, minimalistic to suit the overall theme. The marbled print on the box cover is repeated throughout. So I keep pausing. I keep having to, it sounds disgusting, mop some sweat away from my face. It's about 32 degrees in here today. It's one of the hottest days in the UK. I'm not built for heat. So I am suffering a little bit, and I've closed all the windows so you don't get the traffic and the train level crossing just outside my window. He's great, look at that guy. That's awesome. That is really good. Some bugbears. No, not bugbears. What am I talking about? Kobolds. No, kobolds. I am a mess today. I am an absolute mess. And some goblins. There's some kobolds. Found them eventually. And then, yeah, a few to draw your own level 3 stickmen. Who are, of course, half the size of a level 10 stickman. Everybody knows that. And then let's go on finally to some tokens. Out these pop. Oh. And yeah, so we just got some nice little condition tokens here. So let's see if we can get the camera to focus a bit closer. We've got some prone dodging markers. And I think they've been quite clever to, I mean, obviously this is D&D focused because D&D is the main role-playing game, but they're actually still quite generic. They've got like stunned, frightened, deafened, things like that. Obviously phrases like grappled, that's very sort of D&D specific. You don't get that in too many different role-playing games. And then some where you can write your own. Perhaps you've been turned into a stick. Such is the power of level 10 stickmen. No idea what they are. Never mind. And yeah, a few character sheets. So there we go with the box. And that's it for the actual contents of the box. But in a moment, we'll just come back with some of the add-ons that I got. So here we are, guys, with some of the add-ons from the set. So it's basically the things you've seen before, but with some slightly different artwork. We'll start with this side, as it's a bit more similar to what we saw before. We've got a number of packets inside here. So put that over there. Firstly, we've just got some more character cards, so they look great. And then we have some ice fields. And then in here, we have, I can get that, some forests. So this is quite a different style to what we've seen before. Far more rich with colour. It looks more, that's the right way to put it. Yeah, I can't think of the word. So it's kind of, it's not minimalistic style. It's a bit more kind of complete, more composed, like more of a composed shot. There's just more going on. And we've got some ice on the other side. And here we've got some kind of drift and some transition pieces as well, which is quite nice. So you could be coming out of like a desert cave into the outside desert cave, icy cave. So you come out of the kind of the stonework inside the cave out to the ice outside. Quite the opposite of a desert cave, although ice can still be desert. And then look at these guys. How awesome are these? So we have just some, basically these are just like giant versions of the cards. These are like the mega bosses. Let's pop them out. I have a feeling that these are going to fall straight away. I can already feel that happening to some of them. Oh dear. Okay. Let's try and lift this first one up. Well, that didn't work. Oh, they're falling straight out. Let's abandon. Let's just do some quick reassembly. So I've popped all the cards out, and we can see the bigger ones. We've got like an eagle, and we've got some nice background. So that's good as well, because you can tell, like, you can have a facing if you need to in your game. A giant sea squid monster. Some really nice artwork here. Some big sort of demon. And then some sort of dune type worm. Oh, this is quite interesting. I didn't notice that before. We actually have a little signature down there as well. That's really nice. Because well, regular viewers will know I really like it when artists get to sign their work. I think that's really important. And the fact that it probably took me so long to notice is a good testament to how well that signature's been done, in that it's kind of off the side, it's not obtrusive in your face. So here we have a dragon, stickman in the making, level 20 stickman, some sort of demon, oh, level 21 stickman, undead dragon, ent, some sort of fire elemental dragon, no, it's water, completely the opposite, just feels like fire in this house at the moment. Hydra, some sort of ice giant king, some sort of beer gut king, some sort of too many curry beer gut king, and yeah, level 22, 21 and 20 stick men in the offering. So that's what's then. Just got the other two packs. That one's kind of just more of the same, what you've seen before, so we won't bother with that. We will take a look at these. So here we have, we put them out, like a bit more of a kind of a chasm, like mushrooms, and on the back this almost looks like a larger map piece. I don't actually remember getting these. Yeah, maybe it is some sort of larger map piece, so we could create, so the trees look upside down, yeah, some sort of larger world map. That's quite interesting. So yeah, we get quite a lot of those. And again, the artwork is great in that it's very consistent with what we've seen before, certainly on this side. Here we have, so this looks like some sort of Underdark type terrain map. This is a little bit more glossy, a little bit more high contrast, not quite the same minimalistic style. But again, that's okay, that looks good. Yeah, really nice. I'll definitely have to do a bit more exploring over what those are. So there we go guys, that wraps up another quick pass guide. Thanks everyone for watching. If you have any questions or any comments, or if you've seen anything similar to this before, please comment below, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care. Well, it's a good job I finished this video in time. Oh my god.